What up traders, just a quick update on CAD, JPY, simple market structure and basics, so let's go straight to the chart. So on our screen you can see we have CAD yen, we have our daily time frame, and what I'm going to highlight is the trend. So you can see price have been trending higher, giving us higher highs and higher lows. So right now you can see how price giving us some impulse. So we got phase one, right, which is our impulse from low to high, and then we got our retest, right? So from we got our retest, you can see we pull back and we found some sort of support. Again, we have another impulse move towards the upside. So straight away you can see we have 1, 2, 3 and then a big push towards the upside. So we got our impulse, right? So we got our impulse move, and then we got our retest, then we have another impulse, and then you can see we have another retest, and we have another push, which didn't really break much higher of this previous resistance if you have a look. So you can see what happened. Price came back into this same supported area, right? And then we found some sort of support. This is why I always say to you guys, pay attention to the candlesticks. So right, you can see where we have this nice wick coming off this major supported area, and you can simply see what happened. We have the first higher low formation. So we got a higher high and a higher low formation, and then you can see boom, we have the next push towards the upside straight away from this supported area. So now let's jump back to our lower time frame. So let's move to our 4 hourly. So this is how you work your way down simple on the different time frames. So we're going to move to our 4 hourly chart, and we're going to show you guys how simple and easy it is to actually understand your different time frames, while doing your confluences, and how you can look for your entry points. So now we are currently on our 4 hourly time frame, right? You can clearly see, right, we have this previous resistance is what we will be looking for to now become support. So if you look at this area where you see I have this horizontal trend line, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark this area, right? So we can look for price now to come back into that area. So I'm going to remove, I'm going to remove this, I'll leave it, I'll leave the arrow. So if you look at this area now, right, you can simply see, right, on this area is what we have to pay attention to, where you see price came up, and go sideways for a bit, break above, and then you can see we actually went back below and break structure. So clearly, you can clearly see what we will be looking for is for price to actually move back into this supported area, because this area was previous resistance, which can now become support. And what I do like, this is a really good opportunity to actually sell CAD yen right now, because what I'm going to show you is a simple steps, on how you can go about having your entry point. So if you look at this right now, you can see currently where we have on our lower time frame. So if you move back to your hourly now, you can see clearly where the chart is clearly. So you can see straight away, right, on your chart, right, where price came up, and then we had this supported area was formed, right? So this, you can see price came up, and then you can see we went sideways for a bit. We did break above, but that wasn't really anything, that was just a fundamental, just news. So you can see clearly we just broke structure. So where we broke this first structure is normally called a change of characteristic or the change of trend. And bear in mind we are currently at the top at a major resistance. So that's a good scenario, of confluence where you can be looking for entry points to actually go short. So if you look at this, where price actually broke structure, right, you can see we had a break, and now we are currently on a retest. So we are retesting to actually head lower. So what I normally do is move back to my lower time frames, so like my 30-minute. So if you look at current if you look at our current price right now, you can see how it's a very clear structure. What I normally do is pull my Fibonacci from this high to this low, and what I'll be using is these retracement levels, so we can pull back potentially back to our 50%, or our 61.80, and then even head lower. So I'll be using these levels. 38.20 is always my first entry for me to go short, or whichever direction the market is actually going. If it's bearish or if it's going long, I will use my 38.20 for my first entry. My second entry, where I'll be normally look to like add more orders, depends on the momentum. I will be looking to get in at my 50% or my 61.80, depends on the momentum, as I said. So My stop loss area is my 78.60, so you can see clearly if you got an entry point around these levels, you won't be risking that much, you know. So this is a really nice setup. This is something that you can actually look for on Cadian, so you can potentially look for a price to actually move back into one of these levels, you know, probably get some liquidity bullish move towards the upside, and then we can be targeting towards the downside, you know, for more shorts on CAD JPY. So normally my stop loss will be right by my 78.60, and my overall take profit normally be back to my 27.20, or you can see we have this major support that we're looking for, so we can target that downside. So TP1 for me, if I got my 50% as my entry, my TP1 will be my 38.20, my TP3 will be my 23.60, sorry, my TP2 will be my 23.60, and my overall take profit would be my 0.0%. So with that way, once I already hit TP1, I normally move my stop loss straight to my entry point. Simple and easy as that. You can go about looking for your entry points, and I hope that helped. See you guys on the other side.